Alright, you 900 bunch of sexy people, how are we all doing? Andy Plays Golf. I'm here back at CC Golf for the first episode of getting ready for the season. Quite a catchy title, but it kind of tells you what we're doing. So I'm going to get ready for the season in CC Golf, right? This is the first winter that I've actually played golf throughout the full thing. I've not stopped. Usually I take a break, I come back about February, March time, pick up a club and start whacking it. I just have to give a massive shout out to CC Golf because honestly the ability to actually have this space to do practice, to do filming has been amazing. And I know a lot of my videos recently have been at CC Golf. I live in Scotland, Glasgow especially is a nightmare for golf clubs. It's soaking, I'm just going to get bogging, the fairways are off, pretty much all the greens are off. It's just not a good time. So we will be back out in the course soon, so make sure you're subscribed. So this kind of place, a driving range that you're going to get numbers, a simulator that you're actually going to get true reflection of how you're playing in a nice warm environment. You can come and hit your clubs, you've not got cold balls, literally, you've not got cold clubs. You can come in, get the proper numbers, it's so valuable. So please come and check it out, details will be down below. Give Stuart a phone, say that you saw my video and come in and have a whack. So we're going to use the driving range facility today because what we're going to talk about in this first video is going to be about knowing your miss, first of all. The second point is going to be about how to shot shape, and I'm going to show you some very basic tips in shot shaping. None of this, chest over the ball, do all this, do that, and then you freak yourself out. There's literally going to be 2 pointers for each shot, and the pointers are pretty much common sense. So my miss normally, if I hit the heel or if I leave the face open, is usually out to the right. I forced that, right? But it's usually out to the right. So that kind of shot for me is bad. So what I do with that is I go and hit my second shot, I close the face, and I send it off to the left. There's your two-way miss. You've got absolutely no chance of getting anywhere near a fairway or green if you're playing that kind of shot. So what I've now incorporated is a draw. And what that is when my ball either starts straight or starts out to the right and curls round. Right, that we draw. That for me is telling my body and my mind that you can send it out to the right, your swing path can be out to the right, but don't be scared of it, the ball's going to come in. There's a couple of things we're going to do. And guess what now? My miss is an overdraw. And an overdraw for me is when it starts straight and heads well left. That kind of shot. That for me is a miss. That is now how I miss the ball. So I know if I'm going to miss a green or a fairway, it's usually going to be in the left side. So enough talking, let's reset this first of all. What I'm going to cover in this video is 4 simple things. The draw, the fade, the high and the low. How to do a draw with 2 simple methods. For now, keep the ball position where it is. Move your right foot back, which is your trail foot. So for left-handed golfers, it's going to be your left. But the foot that is away from the target, move it back slightly. And I mean slightly, I mean it's going back 2 or 3 centimetres. Next thing I want you to do is close your face ever so slightly. So just to show you, there's a neutral face, I want you to close it very slightly. So looking on the screen, this is where my feet are aiming, they're shooting off to the right. This is my target line, and my club, if you imagine a wee stick on that club, is pointing somewhere in between that. You don't want it to be out to the right, but you also don't want it to be in the target. The way I think about it is where your feet are aimed is where the ball starts, and where your club aimed is where the ball's going to finish. And the more you aim the club, the more draw you're going to get. So let's do that. Ball stands normal. Here's my normal setup. I'm going to take my right foot back, and I've closed the face ever so slightly. And now I just feel as if I let the rotation happen around my body, and I cover the ball. Send it out to the right, and watch it curve in. There's a lovely draw. Right, so have a wee look at the distance in that. That's my 7-iron, I carried that at 171 yards, that's okay. With your draw, you're going to get a wee bit extra distance because bearing in mind, if you think about covering the ball, you're actually reducing loft ever so slightly. That's a draw, that is it. So literally you'll get to the point that you just close your face slightly, you step up to the ball, pull your right foot back and pull the trigger. And there is an absolute mirrored draw. Nothing wrong with that. That is a completely playable shot. So now we talk about the fade shot. Fade shot is a complete polar opposite your draw. If your draw was aiming off to the right, your fade's going to be aiming off to the left with your feet, and your face is going to be ever so slightly open, somewhere between target line and where your feet aim is. Let's put it into practice. Aim my swing off to the left, so I'm now aiming the left of the screen, which is going to make my swing path cut across the ball, and now my face is going to be very slightly open. And there's your fade. Look at the distance though. We've got about 160 yards of distance out of that, 156. Think about your club face. The draw, you're coming around your body, you're closing it. The fade, you're coming across and you're actually opening it. You're probably putting more loft than is actually on your club. And you'll get to the point that you literally just step up and you just hit your shot. I don't know if any of you guys remember the Tiger Woods video that he done, where you saw the one he curved it right round the trees. Have a look at where his hands finish. If you can imagine your hands curling round after the shot, that is what you're doing to the ball. For any footballers out there, if you're going to hit a free kick and you want to cover it from right to left, you're going to cover the ball like that. That's your swing plane for your draw. If you're wanting to curve it on the outside of your foot for a right-footed player, you're going to do that way on the outside. That's your fade. That's it. So the next stage is a high and low shot. High and low shots are beneficial for getting over things and getting under things. They're also good for landing it soft on the green. You'll see with the fade shot, it is a lot higher and it's a lot softer landing into the green. A lot of pro players play with the fade shot because it's a lot spinnier. You can usually get it onto the green. There's two things I want you to do with a high shot. You move your ball position about half a ball to a ball forward in your stance. So for my 7-iron, I'm about half a ball in the inside of my heel. That means you're starting to force your body to allow it to start hitting on the up. You probably won't be actually hitting on the up, but it's to make your body feel as if you're hitting on the up, and it gives it a higher flight. Next thing, finish with high hands. So you saw with that fade shot, you saw me curling it. I had very, very high hands. That's all I want you to do. So my normal apex in a 7-iron is between kind of 25 to 28 feet. You'll see that in the top left. We're going to try and get that closer to 30 if we can. Right, so you see that I scooped that right up in the air. Distance, going to be a bit less. So you're about 5 yards less on a 7-iron for that. Let's have a look at the apex up in the top left of the screen. Just look at the replay. See those high hands whipping it right up in the air? Get 32 feet. Right, so 32 feet is vastly different from about 26 to 28. So you guys have pretty much got the drift here. This is easy stuff. So guess what's going to happen with your low shot? So your normal stance, you're going to move it back about half a ball to a ball. And guess how your hands are going to finish? Low. So I'm not balling about getting my chest over the ball and squeezing it and closing the face. I'm playing exactly the same shot. The only difference is I finish with low hands. So let's see if we can get this kind of sub 20. Wasn't a great strike, but it's low. You saw how low my hands were on the finish. We'll see that in the replay. Here's the replay, nice low hands, curling around the body, and we've got 20 feet. Go out and practice it please, because you're going to seriously change your game if you start working with these 4 shots. So we've now got a big dog in the hand, 9-degree driver, PXG, video will be coming out either this week or next week on my kind of review of it. Obviously your normal driver, you're kind of off the heel on your shot, so ball manipulation is going to be a wee bit more toned in. You're not going to be moving at a ball or ball and a half, you're literally just going to be moving it very, very slightly. So let's look at the draw. What did we do with the irons? We didn't change ball position, we moved the right foot back, aiming to the left, and we closed the face ever so slightly. You're going to want to exaggerate your driver turn. You're wanting the hands to get a wee bit more active in this, probably a wee bit more active than you did with your irons, and you're definitely wanting your right arm certainly to rotate over your left arm. That's the feeling. It might not happen, but that's the feeling. So remember, send it out to the right and trust that the face angle is going to curl it in. So there is a prime example of a playable draw. Again, just like irons, you're probably going to gain a wee bit more ball speed, you're probably going to gain a wee bit more distance on your ball, for the simple fact that you're putting a wee bit more turn into the face and a wee bit more into your swing. Okay, so you'll see a lot of guys on tour playing with a fade shot. Fade's quite a nice shot when you're playing with your driver. I'm not a particularly fadey player, so I don't really like it. It just gets too much spin for me. So again, you're aiming your feet off to the right, open your face ever so slightly and cut across it. If you guys are slicers, this is exactly what you do. The only difference is you do it with a straight stance. So now aim your stance over to the right and control the slice, control the fade. So you can see I started it straight on target and it's drifted off to the right. That's fine. It's not my particular shot shape, so I'll take it. There's only one thing I want you to do when you're playing high and low. I don't want you to change the ball position ever so slightly if you have to, but ball position and driver pretty much stays the same. Only thing I want you to do, high hands and low hands for high and low shot. So we're going to do that. Just have a look at my hands and my swing. It's all right. I'd probably say we're above kind of 40, 41, 42 on that. It was an okay strike, but I did hit up on it. Let's have a look at the replay, because I think I've actually went right up. Have a look at the hands, really, really high. I actually got off balance there. Yeah, so 41. What do we do for low shot? Low hands. Let's get this at the low 30s if we can. This is a great shot if you're playing into wind. It's about as low as you want to get. Genuinely think we might be sub 30 in that. Driver. Right, it's a nice low hand, 25. Nearly fell, hope you saw that. I'm going to put a wee screen at the end just to kind of recap and do a summary of exactly what I was talking about, just with feet position and club position, just so that if you're wanting to hit a specific kind of shot, you can just write it in a wee bit of paper and have it in your wee book, your yardage book or anything like that. And it's just so that you know when you're out there to do this. I wouldn't go out and practice it in the course, I would do it at the range first. And again, know what your extremes are. Really close that face, really open that face, really close your stance, really open it. Find out what the extremes are, because if you know what the extreme is, you can then dial it back and you'll have a playable shot shape. But yeah, it's as simple as that. This is episode 1 of getting ready for the new season. Episode 2 will be out next Friday, and we're going to be looking at other things which are going to help you guys get better and get ready for the season. So remember, I'm not a pro, don't claim to be. These are just tips that I've found, and if they help you guys, magic, you've not paid for a lesson. So again, a massive big thanks to the guys down at CC Golf. It's seriously helped my game over the winter. And just to let you guys know, I played my first 9-hole competition last week and I was 1 over through 9 holes. That is unheard of for a February competition. So yeah, really happy. Give them a shout, completely worthwhile. I'm going to shank this ball and then try and act as if I'm a golfer. So behave yourselves, take it easy. Oh, not bad, by the way. Not bad at all. 250-yard carry. See you in the next one.